Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Hope everyone's doing well out there. I am Ari Ingle, the Director of Creative Community for Peace. Thank you so much for joining us today. For those of you who don't know, Creative Community for Peace is a nonprofit entertainment industry organization comprised of prominent members of the entertainment community who have come together to promote the arts as a bridge to peace. Additionally, we are also the leading organization working to counter anti-Semitism within the entertainment industry and also galvanizing support against the cultural boycott of Israel. Just as an example, through the years, we've supported artists from Rihanna and Alicia Keys to Bon Jovi and Justin Bieber when they book shows to perform in Israel and face boycott pressure. And through our work also fighting anti-Semitism in the entertainment community, just as an example, we have a digital task force where we are responsible for the removal of hundreds of pieces of anti-Semitic content from sites such as TikTok, Spotify, and YouTube. To learn more about our work, please visit ccfpeace.com. That is ccfpeace.com. We have an amazing panel event today with the cast and creators of the hit Apple TV Plus show Tehran. If for some reason you haven't seen the show yet, it's streaming on Apple TV Plus right now and is an absolute must watch. It's such a compelling and thrilling show, you can't help but binge watch it. So you're lucky that all the episodes are already up, and it also couldn't be more timely given what's happening with Israel and Tehran right now, or I should say with Iran. For those of you joining us in Zoom, you can leave some questions in the Q&A section, and we'll get to as many of them as possible at the end of the discussion. To briefly introduce our panelists, as we just saw right there, our first guest is Lyraz Chari, who plays Mossad agent Yael. Liraz is both an actress and singer-songwriter based in Tel Aviv, and previously starred in the critically acclaimed Israeli film Turn Left at the End of the World, a role which she was nominated for Best Actress by the Israeli Film Academy, as well as movies such as Fair Game, opposite Naomi Watts and Sean Penn, and The Late Quartet as the love interest of Philip Seymour Hoffman. In November, she also released her second album, Zan, meaning woman in Farsi, that was actually recorded secretly with some musicians in Tehran. Hi, Liraz.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Our next guest is one of the scariest bad guys I have seen in a long while, Shaun Toub, who plays Iranian officer Faraz Kamali. Shaun is a true acting legend who was born in Tehran to a Persian Jewish family. He has appeared literally in some of the biggest shows and movies out there, including Seinfeld, The Sopranos, Lost, ER, Homeland, the movie Bad Boys, The Kite Runner, Charlie Wilson's War, Iron Man, and the Oscar-winning film Crash. Hi, Shaun.
Hello there. Hello. Go ahead. Just keep on talking. You know, I like what you're saying so far.
Amazing.
Hi, Liraz.
Next, we have another legend with us today, Navid Negahban, who plays an Israeli spy, Masoud. Navid was also born in Iran. He is widely recognized for his role as Abu Nazir in the Emmy Award-winning series Homeland. The iconic role earned him global fan base that includes fans such as Israeli President or former President Shimon Peres and former President Barack Obama. His credits include roles in Legion, 24, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Veep, The West Wing, and The Shield. On the big screen, he has appeared in Aladdin, American Sniper, Charlie Wilson's War, 12 Strong, and the Ophir award-winning Israeli film Baba June. I'm telling you, we got legends with us today. We're not messing around. How you doing?
Very good. Hi. How are you? Thanks for having me, Ari.
Our next panelist is Tehran co-creator and director Daniel Syrkin. Daniel is an acclaimed Israeli film and television director who has worked across all genres and formats, from scripted TV series to features, as well as documentary. He is the winner of the Best Director at the Israeli Academy Awards and 7 Israeli Academy of Television Awards for Best Director or Best Series. Daniel is also the creative force behind the television projects such as Mossad 101, The Gordon Cell, and Out of Sight. How you doing?
Fine.
Hello, Danny.
Shaun, I love the glasses, Shaun.
Oh yeah, but this is what happens when your eyes are all bloodshot.
Sitting at home all day in quarantine. Finally, we have Tehran writer and co-creator Omri Shanghai, who his 2 short films, Last Respect and Apartment with a Garden Entrance, were screened in dozens of festivals worldwide. Over the years, Omri has directed dozens of ads, video clips, and sketches, including the most viral video in Israel in 2014, titled Yanir. Additionally, in 2019, he co-created Magpie, a TV crime drama. The show received critical acclaim, winning Best Screenplay at the Berlin Series Festival and has now been renewed for a second season. Hi, Omri.
Hello, everybody. Hi, it's great to be here.
Thank you. And last but not least, our moderator for today is CCFP Advisory Board member Noa Tishby. Noa is an actress, producer, author, and activist. She was the first person to bring an Israeli format to the American market when she produced the brilliant 12 Emmy and Golden Globe nominated show In Treatment for HBO, which is now actually, we've just learned, been renewed for a fourth season, which is pretty exciting. She also has a new book titled Israel, A Simple Guide to the Most Understood Country on Earth, coming out with Simon & Schuster on April 6th, available everywhere for pre-orders. Honestly, the book is a must-buy. I just started reading it. And with that, I will turn it over to you, Noa.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Ari. By the way, it's the simple guide to the most misunderstood country on earth. Not understood. If it was understood, I wouldn't have had to write the book.
Got it.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, everybody. Thank you so much for everybody joining in. First of all, everybody, if you haven't watched the show, go do this. It just gave me 8 hours of complete and total anxiety and stress. Delightful. Such a great show. So I want to start with the writing and creating process. And I want to start with you, Daniel and Omri. So how did the idea come about? Where did it originate from? What was the process of your research through to doing this show? And then we're going to go a little bit into execution. But I want to start with how did this idea come about? Maybe Omri, you can start us on this.
Yeah, I'll be happy to. Well, to be honest, the initial idea came from the creator, Maor Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
He brought the initial idea and he worked on it together with yeah.
That just went on my computer. Not even my phone is muted, and that just rang on my computer.
Yeah, no one heard it.
I apologize.
No.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, he brought the initial idea, and then he worked with Moshe Zonder, the other creator. And when they got it first, like the first processing, both me and Danny came into the picture, and together with them and Dana, the producer, we sat and tried to crack it, because basically what was so nice and I think even brilliant about the initial idea that it wasn't about, I mean, the espionage thriller was just a framework. It just was like like a place when you can play, you can just work with your characters. There wouldn't be like a bad and good in those situations. And of course, the whole Iran and Israel conflict are very interesting, so people will see it. But then when they'll get inside, they will understand it. It's not about the idea of getting like the Israel and Iran conflict. It's more about trying to understand the characters inside those situations. There will be no bad and bad or good, and etc. I mean, I can speak also about the research, but I guess like
I want to hear, Daniel, because you edited the script, right? So I want to hear a little bit more about what was the most surprising thing for you researching this show. It's obviously the cultures are so different. The countries are at war, not great friends of the West. What was the thing that surprised you out of everything that you
I was surprised by everything. Hi, Noah.
Hi.
I realized I don't know anything about Iran. All I knew was from my military service, looking at Iran through a scope and a military scope, and just watching the news, and I discovered the whole universe, just like an amazing culture and people. And first thing I did, I called all my Farsi-speaking friends from my military who became best advisors. And then I went and started learning Farsi, which for me was just like, it's one of the first things I did. And yet, just like through learning Farsi, I understood that I had no clue about this culture, about this language, nothing. And it was mind-blowing. I mean, the depth of the culture, the diversity of the people. And, we discovered that there's youth that wants to live a normal life, unbelievable, in Iran, that they're not all want to destroy the world. And as Moshe brilliantly sketched the character of Faraz, that some Iranians are real patriots, even if we don't agree with them.
Yeah.
So there was, and we don't. So yet it's a wonderful, marvelous culture, great people. It was just a revelation.
Yeah. So to talk about the marvelous people and great culture, the person who's most versed in this culture is Lyraz June. June is my favorite word. I got so many Persian friends here. It's my favorite word, has been for years. It's your daughter's name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you? No.
I'm good. How are you? So what for you in execution of the show, when you read that something like this is being done, were you like, I have to do this? I just must? Did they call
Yes,
you
I
immediately?
did.
Was it?
No, I've been hearing for almost a year that they've been casting this TV series, and I was asking my agent about a role, and they were saying it's not for you. And I said, okay, what's mine is mine, and what's not is not. But then I had this beautiful call, and I met Daniel Sirkin, and we had a great meeting. I feel like I'm very lucky.
Do you feel like it was given you an opportunity to bring your culture or bring your kind of background to the screen?
Yes, I felt that Yael Kadosh and myself has the same both complex characters with so many layers and with double heritage. And I think Yael was asking the same question I've been asking all of my life.
Which is?
Which is like, am I Iranian or am I Israeli, and which
Right.
side am I? And I think the minute that we did not choose any side is the minute that we started to connect it ourselves, because we have so much layers inside us and so much culture and beautiful moments with family, and from the other side, very hard moments with family of being an Iranian lady.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that we both trying to struggle in a very masculine environment and to prove ourselves, I got recognized with her character immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. You're breathtaking in the show. You're from the beginning, from scene one, not even saying anything. I was like, and Gideon says hi to all of you. Gideon Raff, he says hi to all of you. And we talked about you and what an extraordinary role your performance is.
It did so well, and we had Danny and I felt like we're like doing it together. So
yeah,
it wasn't very hard to do it.
I'm sure it's extraordinary. Navid, what was for you? What was the thing that attracted you to this character? It's a very complex character.
It was. That was one of the reasons, because the character was so complex. And actually, I heard about the project from my agent in Israel, Rinat. She was telling me, and then I said, "Oh, I'm not sure. Let me read the script." I read the script. It was fascinating. It was very good, but I just want to know who's behind it. And then I had a conversation with Danny, and truly, Danny sold me on the project. When I talked to him, I saw his point of view, and I saw how passionate he is about it, about the concept. And at the same time, him going and learning Farsi just to be as accurate as he can be to the culture, and the respect that he showed to the culture, to both cultures, I was truly touched, and I wanted to be part of the project. And I think that the character was fascinating for me. It was beautiful. It was very well written, and Danny and the whole creative team, they were very kind to me. We were able to tweak it a little bit, and so
Yeah,
there we are.
there you are. Shaun,
Hello.
hi, how are you?
How you doing?
Great. Your character is one of the most like straight arrow, committed. She has a very clear objective. She knows exactly what she's after, yet she's coming up against all these obstacles around. What was the thing that attracted you to play this particular role?
You know, it always starts with the words, and as an actor, you always get attracted to the script. That's the first thing. So what they have done, and Moshe and the writing group, they were you know, the characters are also developed and they are so complex, and the humanity of all these characters, I think that's what's attractive for the audience as well. And as far as Faraz is concerned, you know, he's a patriot, and but at the same time, you see him when he's with his wife, you see a different side of him, and that is what's beautiful, because you know, he loves the family and he loves the country, and then the struggle for him, you know, to basically see how he can go through the struggles of life, and that's why it's so interesting. You know, Faraz is complex, and Faraz is interesting, and for me as an actor, you know, this is a gift.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a gift for all of us, really. So making a show like this in a time like that, it's almost like you couldn't have asked for any better PR with what's been going on right now with in Iran. Mysteriously, you said Israel. I don't know. No, but I don't know if it's Israel. Who knows? But I understand that Daniel and Omri, I understand that were there people from the Iranian government, from the Revolutionary Guard, on set while you were filming as extras? Is that true? Tell me about that.
Not that I know of, but listen, but I got to tell you this. We shot the series in Athens, and we chose Athens because Athens we discovered, and I was so happy when Navid confirmed it, that Athens kind of reminded us of what we saw of Tehran. But the great surprise was that we found about 5,000 Iranian refugees living in Athens. These are people that strive to have a better life in the West, and they kind of find themselves stuck in beautiful Athens. I don't know, they feel stuck. I would have just stayed there, but they want to go to Sweden or somewhere cold, or I don't know. So we were very lucky to have those people, and we had big scenes. One of them was where Navid was in one of those really big scenes with many extras. And in this scene, we heard that some people are maybe asking some unnecessary questions, some of the other extras. But I don't think that we had any people from the Revolutionary Guard. We are just making a TV series, which
that's not what they're saying. They're saying that you're making a Zionist propaganda.
Maybe,
right?
but still, I have a feeling that the Revolutionary Guard has bigger problems to deal with. Can I just say that my conversations? I mean, I had two wonderful conversations. My first conversations with Navid and Shaun, they were really just like the beginning of a series of conversations I had with Iranian people whose roots are in Iran, and they were like the most important thing that happened to me personally, and I think creatively too. I remember talking to Navid. It was like a really hot day. I was in my car on the way to my therapist, I think, and I spoke to Navid in the car, and it was a super emotional charge. And at the end, both of us were in tears. Navid was telling me about his how much he longs to go back to Iran, you know. And it was, so I had a lot of stuff to talk to my therapist after this. But I mean, this was like just amazing. And also my first meeting with Shaun, and you know, I started telling Shaun, you know, Shaun, we're doing this show about Iran. He says, listen, I'm Jewish, I know, but yet you have to respect Iran. You have to respect the Iranian people. It was amazing. And with Liraz, we became, you know, such great buddies. Only in post-production, I started to really understand how deep it is within her.
Yeah.
The Iranian culture.
Yeah, a lot of people speak to that as well. I want to actually speak about we talked about the complexity of the characters. I want to talk about the ambiguity of who is a traitor and who is a hero. Okay? So there's every character she can be seen as a traitor and as a hero, depend on who's looking at her at that particular time. And I want to hear kind of like what are your thoughts about that? Navid, you are kind of waving your head. So do you want to take this first?
Of course. Well, again, as you said, it depends depending on the point of view who's looking at it. But to me, my character is Masoud is not a traitor. Masoud is he loves his country and he wants the best for the country. And what he's trying to do is um, he's trying to rebuild what he has lost. And at the same time, which I think none of these characters are traitors in their own mind. In their own mind, each of them they are the heroes, but from the other side of the point of view, they might look at them as a traitor. And that's I think everybody is the same. Everybody has a family, and they're all trying to protect their families.
Yeah, it's true. If you look throughout history, by the way, all the every single spy can be called a traitor or a hero. It depends on history and depends on the point of view. Liraz, how did that relate to your character without giving anything?
Good question. I've been asking myself until today this question. I think that the minute that us, with our double heritage, are not choosing any side, are doing what we're doing out of love to the country, out of longing to the country that I don't even know myself. But Yael, she left the country and she longed to this country. And from the other hand, she had to protect Israel. But at the end of the way, she needed to choose side. And she did it because she needed to do it, as anyone who takes any responsibility to his behavior or to his choices. But this is the big thing. This is the big question and the big complex thing of being with double personality, I can say.
Double heritage?
Yes, definitely. I can say that I belong to Iran that I don't know. And Iran is not my parents anymore, but I can describe so many beautiful places and food and people and culture. I've been growing up on my two grandmothers' laps, and they've been telling me so many beautiful stories about Iran. And so many struggling of how is it to be a woman in Iran, and how mature that they had to be when they got engaged when they were 11 and 13. So I think all these layers that I have inside myself, I brought to my character.
Yeah, and it shows. So I was wondering, I was wondering if this show brought up people from Iran who are calling Mossad in order to join. Because I was like, you may watch the show and be like, oh my God, I definitely want to be a part of this. And I called somebody that knows somebody. And I was like, are we getting calls from Iranians trying to help? And he goes, we're not going to hire people who are actually watching based on a TV show and going to call us based on. I'm like, okay, got it. I'm curious as to what kind of responses you guys all been getting from Iranian viewers. And whoever you can wave, and I'll point out.
This has been a very interesting phenomenon for all of us, I think, because in the beginning, they were talking about this series is a Zionist propaganda, and this show is a Zionist show, and then throughout the time that people start watching the show, and Iranians have been watching the show. Because they hacked it, and from days, of course they would, and this is what we do, and and we're good at it, and so the amazing thing was for me, because I was the beautiful conversation I had with Danny was a lot in the beginning was that, listen, I'm an American actor, but I'm still Iranian, so I don't want to make the Iranians look bad.
Yeah.
And which was beautiful. And that's why people love this show, because it's a very balanced show. It really doesn't take sides. And that's why the audiences are loving it. But again, for me, it was amazing that the Iranians have been watching the show. As they start watching the show, they start loving the show, and all of a sudden in the beginning, my on Instagram, they would say things, and then now they're changing their mind, and now they're like, oh, we love the show. Israelis love the show,
Yeah.
which it's a big hit.
Yeah.
And that's why it's really interesting, even though it's the Iran-Israel, complexity of the
It's just
show.
the governments.
Yeah, but
It's not the people.
Oh, no, that's why the show is about is about the people.
Yeah.
It's about the struggles of humanity and what they do. So that's been beautiful. I mean, I get amazing texts from all over the world how they love the show. So we're blessed.
Daniel, Omri, have you been getting responses from Iran?
First of all, I must say that I hear all the actors, the great actors, and I'm fascinated. For me, I'm also a viewer here because you write the show. I wrote the show together with Moshe, and then you hear the characters, the actors talking about it, and I'm very happy. And when I saw the materials and when I saw the cuts that Danny showed us, I saw that like the actors actually got it. I mean, they got it right because that's exactly what we try to do. We try to brought this complexity.
Yeah.
We try to bring those conflicts to ask each one of the characters you asked before about being a traitor. I think it's all about your loyalty to your heart, and sometimes your loyalty to your heart is to be with your country, and sometimes your loyalty to your heart is to be with your family, with your beloved ones. And I think we tried very hard that each one of the characters that we show on screen is driven by that.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to hear that. And those characters, I love each one of those characters. And we tried very hard, to portray them. And I'm very happy that it got that way. I'm just happy.
Yeah, I don't think like the character for Faraz, for example, he's not a traitor by any means.
No.
He's a family man, but at the same time, he's all about his work. His loyalty is to the country, and I think a lot of these characters they have loyalty, and again, what he just said, Omri, that's I gotta give props because the writing is so good. And of course, Danny is the master of the puppet master. So he did an amazing job. Amazing.
Yeah. By the way,
director.
Even when you talk about loyalty to the country, still loyalty to the country can be interpreted in various ways, which is very interestingly happened both in Israel and in America and in Iran and all over. What's the name of the assassin? Muhammad? When he says, I'm not doing this because I love Israel, I'm doing this for my country. So it's an interpretation of how is it that you defend your country is something that it comes up to the table.
Yeah.
Omri and Daniel.
This monologue was very important for us, by the way.
This monologue is very important. That's why I'm pointing it out because it was a pivotal turning. Super important. Also for second season, like I got it. I was like, great. I get where that's coming from. Perfect. You guys Daniel and Omri being a writer it's a little bit like being a spy because you have to immerse yourself in another culture, put yourself inside a thing, not judge.
For me, it was a fascinating journey, and you asked before about, getting this help from every time we got stuck with the script, first of all, we need to turn on the news to see what's going on. Every time was like things going on in Iran and between Israel and Iran. So we got like crazy ideas, but also, we did a really deep research about Iran. I'm not Iranian. I didn't came from Iran, but everybody in Israel is like most of the people in Israel are immigrants in a way. So they can identify with it. And we haven't spoke about it yet, and Liraz probably know about it better than me. That a lot of Israelis that came from Iran during the show, they finally got proud with their culture. I mean, they were like very embarrassed with a lot of stuff, whether it's the language, whether it's the culture, the music, and Liraz doing such an amazing music.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
You'll get to into it. So suddenly I got proud of it, and it's great. And I mean, when I read like a lot of stuff about Iran, and a bit of it got on screen, every time, as Danny said before, the show is about the people, or maybe Shaun said that it's about the people, and about when you read about Iran, it's like a whole new world for us, and for me it was a fascinating world.
I'm dying to go. My dad went there. By the way, I don't know if you got a chance to see this picture. Did you see this picture?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
For anybody of the viewers that don't know what this is, it's a picture of a flag of Israel with "Thank you, Israel" in Tehran, probably by a dissident put up there.
I think, by the way, it's cynical. That's what our advisors told us. I think Danny,
really, because the response they put up a response to it. The
Iranians.
with Google Translate in Hebrew saying, "הנקמה שלנו תוציא את השנה מעיניך, חכה לבוא." It's probably Google Translate. It doesn't make much sense, but that was they took it down and put that. Who knows? It's very exciting.
Now they say that with the COVID situation, that the Israeli government has deserted the artists, but it's absolutely supporting our series, the Israeli government, by giving us so many ideas, so much inspiration. Whatever is happening in Iran, I mean, if we would have just like invented something like this last assassination, people would say that we're crazy, or that's it's nonsense. And you're asked about the reactions of Iranians. I've been getting, for some reason, so many mails of Iranians, and they differ. Most of them, of course, are for the show, and some of them, which were surprising, said that all of what we consider as being fair game and showing like both sides. Many people who are opposing the regime, and for me it was a big surprise, said that we're too soft on the regime. That depicting somebody like the character that Shaun portrays as somebody humane, for them was an insult. And for me it was very interesting, and because it is not an easy regime, let's say. So people, it was not, even though I would say 90% of what I received is just like pro the show, they love the show. I did hear that we can improve some stuff, and I think we will try. If with God's help, we'll have a second season. But
you have to have a second season. Are you killing me now?
But I gotta tell you, best thing for me is that I have Iranian actors from all over the world writing, which is because it's Apple TV and people see it all over the world. I get like people, "Hi, I'm Iranian, I live in Sweden. I took acting lessons when I was 4. Can I be in the second season?" And I tell everybody, "Write my assistant." And then I had like an email like this from India, from a girl. She wrote to me on Instagram and also said, "Write my assistant." And then I said, I should check who she is. And I saw that she has 2 million followers on Instagram. She's like a big Bollywood star who speaks Farsi.
Oh my
God.
I
wrote, yes,
of course.
Yes.
Whatever her name is, you got the role if she's in. Navid, I want to hear from you a little bit. If you got some responses from Iran, because I know you're extremely passionate about this. And then I want to jump to Liraz, and I want to talk about your music and the process. So get ready.
Well, for me, at the beginning, when the show came out and they saw only a couple episodes in Iran, I got random messages that I'm a trader, I'm a Mossad agent, I sold my country. And after that, after they saw the show, they started liking the show, the comments changed. But one of the things was that, I mean, we did a fantastic job. One of their comments was that they wish that we would have paid a little bit more attention to the youth and separate them from. There are 2 different groups of Iranian youth, youngsters there. They are the ones that they are really against the regime, and they are the ones who are benefiting from the regime. And as long as they are having their fun, it doesn't bother them. So what they were asking is that please make sure that you guys separate these 2 groups from each other. And I talked to Danny, and um, mentioned that to them, and that's the only comment. They love the show. They like the show, but they want to see the two different sides.
They want to. So they're giving you basically notes about subtleties of
Yeah,
Great.
and we didn't have enough time. I mean, they want us to cover something that would take 5 or 6 seasons just to get it.
Right.
It's not that easy, but altogether they loved it, and so far it's been good. Everybody's asking for a second season. Danny, what's happening with the second season? Omri, what are you doing with the second season?
Ask the wonderful people from Apple.
I don't know.
Yes, talk to them.
Meanwhile, we're getting like great ideas. That's what I can say.
Masoud is gone, so let's see what's happening.
Yeah.
Liraz. So you're an incredible singer as well as actor, and you've just recorded an album in Farsi, and you did it with Iranian artists, and you did it in secret, right? Tell me everything about it.
Yes, actually, it was a big dream that came true, because when I released my first album in Farsi, I did it for my own, for myself, because I needed to open this complex feeling about Iran that I don't really know and cannot visit, unfortunately. And I needed to go and to dig in and explore my roots, just to explore myself as an artist. So the album was out in Iran as well, and I got lots of comments from Iranian women especially, and men as well. And when I've decided to release the next album and write it with Iranian musicians, it was a big thing for me, and I was very naive about it. And I got many obstacles. And
why were you naive? How do you mean?
Because the minute I got so much love from Iran, and I understood that Iran really loves Israel, and Israel really loves Iran, and there are so many Facebook groups and people who's writing to Israel and back. I was mesmerized by it, because I thought it's impossible. I understood that it's only the titles that bothers us, because between us we love each other. And as a proof, that Tehran, the first 5 or 4 episodes was out in Tehran before it was out in Israel. And they got like Iranian subtitles. It was in Farsi. I remember I got a video screen from my Iranian friends in Iran that watches the episodes before us, the actors, and it was crazy. I screamed. I said, it's pure love, and they're very curious about every role and every character, and they want more. And Israeli people, they all want to learn Farsi now. And as you mentioned, Omri, you said so beautiful that people like myself, I was so embarrassed about my heritage, about my parents' thick accent and manners and behavior, and I was pretty sure that I'm going to get married when I was 20, and I had to live my arts, and I broke my walls at my own time. But now I can say thank you for that, because my heritage is so important, and people from Israel, Iranian people like myself, who is the second generation, understand that it is so important because of Tehran TV series, because of this story. So going to my album in a short closure.
Yeah. I want to hear, because we're at Creative Community for Peace. We work with artists, like we're trying to bring artists together all the time. So how did you connect with those other artists, and what was that like?
It was very easy, because I was on a daily basis touch with them via Instagram and Telegram, and it was very easy for me to talk with them constantly. But the minute they understood that they are actually stepping in and getting my partners to this album, they were very afraid, especially women, unfortunately. Some of them wrote me beautiful songs, and I wrote with them, and they wanted to take the songs back because they was afraid. Some of them deleted their profile and changed it. and they got disappeared for a few weeks. Actually, the big crisis was when we shot in Athens, and I was in the hotel, and there was the explosion of Soleimani. I think it was in January.
January, yeah.
And it was 5 a.m, and I'm getting a call from Iran from one of my friends who wrote songs with me to this album, and he said, "Liraz, June, where are you?" And I said, "I'm in Tehran. No, I'm in Athens shooting Tehran. What's going on?" He was saying, okay, you're not in Israel. This is good." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because Iran is going to attack Israel." And I said, "But my family is in Iran. What should I do?" And he said, "Just escape Israel, escape." And he was so sure that Iran is going to attack Israel that I got anxiety. And this is the good, it's a funny story, but it was very bad story for me. It was, I think, the second day of shooting, and I got into the set with like anxiety, and I felt that everything is collapsing, and I lost the connection with the Iranian musicians because there were no internet connection in Iran for almost a week. Everything got so confused and mixed together. And I remember the actors on set, the Iranian actors, that they were afraid too, because they got a very big decision of participating with Israeli TV series and production and actors and team. So all these fears got inside me, and I got the first time panic attacks. And
appropriate timing, I must say.
Perfect timing, yes. So, but now I can laugh about it, but I got it really, it was a closure for me. And and it was a good thing at the end of the way.
That's amazing. I think, look, if we're in a liberal crowd or any kind of democracy-loving people, I think multiculturalism is crucial to any proper society. And for that, you need to know your culture and bring it to the table, whatever it is. It's fascinating and extremely important. All right, we're almost going to open to questions, but I want to hear from like all of you. Just what have life been like in crazy COVID 2020 blessings that's been going on? What in 2021 be here already?
I know, exactly. I mean, I don't know what to say anymore, honestly.
Where are you, Shaun? Where in the world are you?
Huh?
Where are you?
I'm at home. I'm in I'm in Los Angeles, and
you're in LA.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, you're here.
Yeah.
Okay. We have to see you.
Love to.
Yeah. The amazing thing is that so many 8 months has gone by, and we all try to do our best. Hopefully, we see the light in the tunnel, and hopefully it's not a train coming toward us. So it's been weird. It's been difficult. We are so blessed because we have Tehran, and Tehran has kept me busy.
Yeah.
With all the press and all the accolades, and so thank God that we have had Tehran, because they send you scripts all the time, and then the next thing they say is like, yeah, but we don't know when we're going to shoot. So it's just really weird. But I got to say one thing. Just one thing. Navid and I went to the camp of the Iranians in Athens, and I gotta say that I think Navid will say the same thing, that it was one of the heartbreaking and inspiring. And
what is the camp of Iranian in Athens?
There's a whole bunch of immigrants, Iranian immigrants that are in Athens, and because Greece, they don't have the luxury of paying, and it's not like Germany. So it was truly heartbreaking to see my people. I say my people, although I'm Iranian, I'm an American, but it was heartbreaking to watch this Iranian people who had everything, and now they're just dispersed. And so, yeah, Danny and I talked about it, and yeah, I just wanted to mention that, and hopefully when they go back to Athens, or we are able to do something for them.
Yeah.
Because it's really tough for them.
Yeah. Navid, do you want to tell us a little bit about that? And then also what you've been, where are you in the world, and what are you working on in COVID, or how are you staying sane?
I'm based
I got
in
some questions here, by the way, from the viewers. So I'm
oh, really? Okay. I'm in Los Angeles, and for past year, I've been working on building a center in Boyle Heights. It's an artist community center, which we finished it. Actually, that's where I'm sitting right now.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
That's
Do
great.
you remember, Danny, what it was like?
Yeah. When we first spoke, he was all battered because a hammer fell on his hand and on his face, and he had the black eye. And I told him, it's okay. And then I asked the producer, what the hell are we going to do with him? He has a black eye.
So
But he said, no, I heal really fast. I heal fast, he said.
No, I've been working on this center for almost a year. We finished the studio sound stage. We have had some artists that they came over here with a couple readings, podcasting, short films, and music videos. And the facility has also a house attached to it, which is going to be a housing place for the actors. I can house up to 8 artists, so they can come live here, use the facility. And actually, we need to chat later, because what you guys are trying to do, bringing artists from different parts of the world, that's the concept here.
Ari, did you hear that?
This is a house for all the artists that they can come from different parts of the world. They can use the facility, they can create and just tell stories.
Yeah.
Stories that they would never get a chance to do.
To tell everyone. Amazing. You are keeping yourself busy. It's more than a lot of us can say.
I've been doing okay.
That's great. Good. So we have a question for Omri and Danielle. A lot of Israeli projects being bought, obviously, by American streamers and networks and so forth. What role did AppleTV play in the production of the show, if any, in the development production of the show, if any, or did they come in later and bought it? How involved are they in season 2, and so on?
So Apple came in later on in the production. But ever since they came in, they were like just a super amazing partner.
Right.
And they're just like international power. First of all, their passion about the project was overwhelming. It was, for us, it was like just an eye opener. We knew that we had something good, but they really let us know we have something great. And they have just like been amazing. And I hope that they will keep on being such a smart and sophisticated partner. And that's what I can say. I'm really happy that they chose us and we chose them.
Right.
Just just watching the show, I saw it with Japanese subtitles and Greek dubbing, and I know that people can just for my fun on the platform, and just knowing that something we created in Israel with this international amazing cast, with Omri sitting in a shabby cafe or a small office somewhere, and then people all over the world can watch it. It's just crazy. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, mind-blowing. Liraz, somebody is asking how your family reacted to you playing this role, and do you still have family in Iran?
Unfortunately, I don't have family in Iran. I have lots of Iranian family in Tehran, Los Angeles. Lots of great family. My family, of course, they loved the story and the TV series and the characters. My mom actually slapped me at the last episode.
No.
She was yelling at me. Yes, she took it very, very, very hard. I said, Mom, it's my role. I mean, I wouldn't do it in my own life, which I don't think it's true. I would do whatever I should do. But I said, it's not for real. And she actually slapped me. She slapped me. She sat next to me and she gave me like, I said, okay, Mom, what's going on? It was so funny. She's so Zionist. You say Zionist? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so into Israel. She
wasn't even
loves
willing
Iran,
for
but
you for you even playing this
Yes.
role,
Oh,
even
yes,
suggesting.
This is
Yeah, amazing. All right, we're almost
Yes.
done. So I want to pass by each one of you. Let me know, what is it that you guys are watching and or reading right now? We all need some things to pass the time. So Omri, do you want to start? Anything that you've been watching recently or reading recently that you want to recommend?
oh, it's a good question.
Or maybe somebody else if you have the answer already. So Omri, I don't put you on the spot.
Yeah,
Daniel has the answer.
I'm watching Watchmen. It's really great. Actually, my family is downstairs waiting for me to see episode 4. They hate me because I told them to stop. They're waiting for this panel to end. We need to know what's going on in episode. It's a really entertaining show, Watchmen. And I watched Little America with on AppleTV with and I love there's an episode with Shaun there, which is great, and it's a really great show about immigration. I loved it. And I'm watching. I'm watching Homeland all from the start.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Great.
Keep watching it. You know, it's really interesting that you know that's what they say. They say, you know, art imitates life, or vice versa. It's just amazing that you know, when Navid and I were on Homeland, when I was in the season 3, the same thing happened. All of a sudden, you know, there was a issue with Iran, and they were like, "How did you know? How did you know? How did you know?" And Tehran is doing the same thing because of what's going on with Iran. Everybody's like, "How did you guys know?"
Right.
You know, it's just you know, a lot of I mean, the writers have been amazing. So they've been writing, and they know, and they go and
They plug into the zeitgeist.
Yeah, they find out, and but it's just sometimes it's really interesting.
Yeah. What are you watching or reading right now that you want to recommend?
To be honest with you, I haven't been watching much. Actually, last night I wanted to watch the Social Dilemma.
Yeah, I watched it. It's amazing. It's crucial.
Yeah.
It needs to be mandatory viewing.
I know. That's why I think this is the one thing that I say, okay, that's why I said tonight I have to watch it, because I've been dilly-dallying, but everybody should watch it. Apparently maybe we will learn something.
Yeah. It's one of those things that we either intuitively knew or just knew, and it's just putting it all in. It's great. Anybody? Okay. Omri, did you think of something you're watching or reading that you want to recommend?
You want me to recommend a book or a TV show?
Both.
Both. So
Tehran.
now I'm reading something totally different than Tehran. It's called Normal People. That's what I read right now. It's a great story. And now I think it's like being a...
It was done into a show. Yeah.
Oh, it's a great book. My wife recommended it. Great book. And also, I'm watching a lot of Israeli stuff that is really great, but I guess a lot of viewers are Americans. So I can say that I just watched The Plot Against America, which is all amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Omri, why are you watching these TV shows? You're supposed to be writing.
Yes.
Writing what?
Season 2.
Season 2.
Oh, writing stuff. Yeah, I'm writing the second season of another season, but no.
Don't tell them that.
No, I guess I like you. If you ask about the COVID-19, I'm happy that I'm busy right now. I'm really busy, so I'm happy that I don't have a lot of time thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah. Liraz, watching, reading, something you want to recommend to us?
I'm reading Rumi, the Iranian poet.
Of course.
Oh, wow.
And Farsi and Hebrew as well, and I love it. And one of these songs is inside my album. And I think this is the best poet ever. And everyone who wants to explore some Iranian poetry, read Rumi's books.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. Shaun, do you know what are you watching or reading right now?
Navid left us.
Navid left us? Where's Navid?
Oh, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Oh, hi, Navid.
Hi. How are you?
Can you recommend a show or a movie or a book that you like?
Last thing that I watched was a Nurse Ratched.
What was it?
Nurse Ratched.
Yeah, Nurse Ratched.
Yeah, that one was very interesting. I watched it. Fantastic acting. And to be very honest with you, please don't hate me, but I get about 5:30 in the morning. I'm here at 7:30 in the morning, working until 7 o'clock at night. So there's no time.
Perfect.
I'm working on something. There's a project. We just finished a reading of it, Asher's Command. Inspired by true events that happened a while back. I don't know. Are you familiar with it?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great.
how do you know about it?
I do. I'm. You don't know who I work for.
She's Masoud. She's Hollywood Masoud.
No.
Ari, stop.
No. We need to talk about this.
Oh.
You are laughing. I'm serious.
Okay. Okay. We can talk about this.
Okay.
Ari will give you my email.
Ari, please.
All right, Ari. It's 11:59. Should I turn it back to you?
Well, what are you watching or reading?
Oh, I just finished watching The Crown.
Oh.
I finished it as quickly as I could while still like savoring it and doing it slowly. So I love that show. It's brilliant.
It's amazing. How do they do it, the Brits? They're just perfect.
Yeah. לפחות שהטלוויזיה תהיה טלוויזיה. They've always been great. Yeah.
Well, Israeli television's been great. I'm watching Valley of Tears, which is on right now. Another Israeli show that's made it over to America, which is pretty great. And if anybody hasn't seen Queen's Gambit, I think that's probably,
oh yeah,
besides Tehran, one of my favorite shows I've seen, I don't know, in a long time.
Yeah, beautiful show.
Brilliant. And that lead actress she's going to be a star if she isn't already.
Yeah.
Anyhow, thank you guys. This is obvious. It was an amazing discussion. We had tons of questions. Most of the questions of people were just saying how much they loved the show and loved you guys. So they're all excited for season 2. Thank you, Noah. Make sure to check out Noah's book that's just coming out in April. So I don't mess up the name again. What's the name again, Noah?
Oh, it's coming out April 6th. It's already available for pre-orders if you're very excited on Amazon and everywhere else. It's called Israel, A Simple Guide to the Most Misunderstood Country on Earth.
Love it. Anyhow, everybody else out there, just CCFP, a couple things. We have a Prism of Light event that is coming up next Wednesday. It's an interfaith holiday celebration that's going to bring together various faith-based leaders, as well as some celebrity guests to send a message of hope and unity that we really need as we move into the new year. You can sign up on our website and make sure to register now. Also, once again, Creative Community for Peace. We are a nonprofit organization and we rely on donations. So please visit ccfpeace.com, ccfpeace.com. You can stay in touch and get all the updates. Anyhow, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this. This has honestly just been an amazing discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Everyone.
Season 2.
Bye.
Season 2. We need to make it
God
happen.
willing. God willing.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye. Bye.